All right. This is episode number 2, and I decided to talk about studio energy. Basically, treating that session or that studio you're in like it's your home. So, what I mean about that is if you're not collaborating with that person and, you know, or they're not somebody you would bring over your house to your crib, I probably wouldn't bring them into a session. You know, it's super important to keep that energy right. And I see it time and time again where, you know, the artist comes in and they have 5 people and they probably only needed two of those people in the room, to be honest. Some people can ruin a situation for you. Perfect example, you might be an artist, you know, you're new to a situation, you got flown out to go record at a big label or something. I've seen this happen plenty of times. And the artist friend is so full of himself and, just wants to be his rowdy character self that he disrespects the A&R or he disrespects like the songwriter's manager or, somebody that they would most likely need to be friends with. And what that does is it ruins, the relationship for the artist. Like that artist is now on pins and needles or walking on eggshells with that person because their homie, ruined that relationship. Other things, I just seen, artists bring people like their girlfriends or their friend that's really not into music and they get bored in the session. So their energy of being bored or, I want to go rubs off on the artist and the artist is no longer in the mood to be creative. He kind of lost that energy for the day and that session ends up not really producing much. You have to really look at what a session is. You're investing money into your craft. That's you putting money into your business in a sense. And, also you're putting time into it and you're not going to get that time back. So you just want to make sure that you're, just on point with what you're doing. And sometimes having the wrong people around can just hinder that, I guess. Also, if you're not in the mood to record, don't force yourself to record. I know a lot of people are like, that sounds stupid, but the fact is, like, I wouldn't, I wouldn't rush myself into mixing a record because I just know if I'm not feeling good to that day, like that record is not gonna sound good. It's not gonna feel good. If I'm in a shitty mood, I tend to just stay away from mixing or doing anything that's in the sense of creating. And I think it's smart for artists to kind of learn that about themselves, like when is the best time for me to record or just simple things like that, because you don't want to once again get into a situation where you waste, let's say you waste like 2 hours when you could have just simply like chilled, play video games or did something to relax your mind and then book that session. And instead of you wasting 3 out of that 8 hours, you could just book a session for 5 hours, and get something done in all 5 hours. Um, there's countless things that I've seen ruin sessions, even drug use. I know some people can handle drug use or alcohol and all that stuff, but I'm gonna probably repeat this a couple of times. But once again, this is a business. Like you're putting money into your business. You as an artist is a business. So if you're just getting drunk and chilling and smoking with your friends, keep in mind if you have a home setup, that's cool. If you have a home setup, that's perfect. That's great. But especially if you're working on a label's time, or you say your manager paid for the session, or your girlfriend paid for the session, like the last thing that person wants to hear is that you got too high or you got too drunk and you didn't complete a single record. Like I promise you, like that's gonna piss people off. They're not gonna be too happy. So that's another good thing to think about. And where you record is very important. It's just like picking an apartment or picking a home. Like, you just don't want to move into any area. You don't want to move into any apartment, any home. You want to make sure that place, you know, fits your views of how you want your music and your artistry to go. You don't want to be in a studio where they don't really care about what you're doing. Like they're just like in and out, get things done. I like to treat my clients, like they're the homies and or family, and really get involved in what I do with them and make sure that I'm doing the best I can to make sure the stuff sounds good. You know, um, there's plenty of different situations. People love the fast pace. Like, I don't really care to know the engineer, and I just want to record a song, and I know what I want to do, and that's pretty much it. Be quiet. And there's some people, that love input and solid input, not just yes men. Some people like yes men. That's another thing. People bringing yes men to the studio, very unnecessary, but for them, I guess their ego thing. But yeah, man, treat that session like it's your home. Be be very careful of what you bring in because the energy can change everything. Um, yeah, and just be smart about it. I know some people get like your friends get upset because they just want to hang out in the studio and they think it's a very cool thing, or girls want to hang out. And I'm not against girls or anybody bringing girls. Just make sure whatever you bring into the room does not affect. And by it, now that I say this is all just my opinion and me giving unwanted advice. So, but just make sure whatever you bring into the studio does not stop you from creating. Because the whole point of you being there is to create. The whole point of you is to create something you love, and that can surpass you, and that can do numbers, and that can get plays, and you know, create profit for you, create income, and change your life. So I say just be very smart on it on that point. See if I'm forgetting anything else. Be nice to the engineer. That should go without saying. But I've seen it happen. Uh, Being rude or disrespectful to the engineer can definitely mess with your session. Um, if you don't feel it going the right way, then ask for a new engineer. Or stop the session. Don't waste your money. Like, I wouldn't. If you're in a situation where an A&R manager like got the session for you and you kind of have to deal with it, and that's one thing. But if you're putting your money into something, do not sit. You guys should not sit there and waste each other's time. Like, if you don't rock with the engineer, let your manager know, or let whoever is in charge of that studio know. Or if the engineer owns the studio, then just say like, thanks for your time, and go on to the next studio. Like, I do not get offended when people don't want to work with me. I know I'm not for everybody, so I'd rather them just be upfront and honest and be like, hey man, appreciate the time, bro. Like, I'll catch you again like later or something. Just, I kind of get that's we don't rock with you, and we're going to another studio, which I'm super fine with. But don't waste your time because you're wasting money. And I'm pretty sure if the engineer is uncomfortable, he doesn't want to be there either. So don't force it, because once again, you try to force it, it's not going to really be a dope record anyway. So I'll just kind of end it amicably. I guess that's how you say that. But yeah, just a quick thought on that. I just wanted to share that. So remember, the studio is your home. For those 8 hours or 5 hours, that's your home. Be careful who you invite in. Be careful what's being brought into the room. You're allowed to tell people to get out. Like, that's your session. And I would utilize that power to the end of this earth, because you invite one person, they invite one person, and they invite another person. And next thing you know, you walk out the booth. There's 20 people. They're all smoking. They're all drunk. And there's just mad girls around. and they're probably not for you because your homie's been outside with them the whole time. So, but yeah, if you're the party type, then do your thing. I'm not telling nobody what to do. I just, the smartest way I've seen it done, and this is how I've seen it done. The smartest way I've seen it done is the artist, the engineer, and the producer in the room. I think that's the smartest way to go by it, or the songwriter. Whoever is creatively involved in the process should be in the room. I think that's the best way of going at it. Other than that, try not to have those people in the room, because even another thing, business wise, you work on a song from scratch with two producers, a writer, and then there's you. So let's call it two writers, two producers, and somebody just has a random friend chilling in the room. They can negotiate splits. So, that's another situation to think about. And, just want to be careful, because I've seen people come in and kill a whole session. I've seen one person kill a whole session, and you just don't want that to happen. You want to make sure you're focused and you're doing what you have to do. You're handling your business and you're making that hit song, because that hit song could change your life. I don't think anybody out there rather have their session end to one party pooper. I'm pretty sure they want the vibe to be up, and they want it to be good. They want it to be solid, and they want to make sure that they get good records out of it. So, yeah, man, be smart, be careful, and have fun, and take it serious, man. This thing could change your life. Engineering changed my life. Music could change your life. So, the session's your home. Treat it like your home. Respect it. And, make that next hit. Thank you for listening. Peace.